Welcome to the darkness underneath. This is more than just a podcast. And if you're weak and triggered easily, or just some annoying little kid, go watch something else. If you watched my last episode, The Butcher of Brooklyn, you already know that I'm writing a new book on Roy DeMeo that'll include a lot of new information, new victims, all kinds of things, with a different style. I speak to people from Murder Machine every day, and have files and info that's just not on the internet. I also know people that were heavily involved in Roy's schemes that aren't in Murder Machine that I found out through my research and talking to these people. I hope when I finally release my book you check it out. I can tell you already both Albert DeMeo and Capici and Mustaine in Murder Machine got Dracula's bank robbery wrong. That was Roy trolling his son and the crew with different stories. Dracula didn't get caught for not being able to drive a stick shift, and he didn't dress in drag, but the robbery was just as funny, and the aftermath was even funnier, and he has a fascinating history. I'll go into all that in detail in my book, among other things, as much as I can find. And if you know people involved in Roy's crew, or personally involved with its players in some way, and can prove it, let me know. I'd like to talk to them. I'm willing to have a respectful conversation with anybody, without judging. I want to humanize everybody in some way, and there could be money in it for them if they're important. Again, they have to prove it. Also, if you haven't checked out Lynchpin of Bensonhurst, go ahead and do so. It's a great documentary on Montiglio. Also check out Kevin the Informer's channel. It's on Roy DeMeo and Brocchini. Whether you agree with his conclusions or not, he wrote a good book called Cop Without a Badge. It came out in the 90s, and he was a car thief back in the 70s, and he did know Brocchini. I would recommend not bothering with Mafia tapes. It was terrible, edited to be duplicitous, unethical. It exploited an old man, Montiglio, as he was dying, and the woman who produced it and interviewed him somehow made it about her. What a narcissist. Since the Mafia tape girl decided to be an opportunist and smear an old dying man, I'm going to take the good parts of Mafia tapes out, of which there isn't much, and limited to a very few second short interviews on Roy's crew, and with fair use include them in my series, so you don't have to wade through Mafia tapes yourself. She literally spends most of the series, almost all of the series, talking about her personal journey. Oh, I traveled to meet such dangerous people to make this series for you, so you can learn about the crew. Speaking of Pete LaFrocia and Montiglio, the latter who had just had a stroke, what a cowardly, self-absorbed thing to say. She acts like she interviewed Ted Bundy or Hannibal Lecter out in the middle of the desert. She also suggests that Dominic Montiglio was a liar without any evidence, and that he died because he just couldn't take all of her powerful questions. And then she also took his phone without his knowledge, flipped through it, and got Buzzy's number. He hung up on her. And she did other underhanded things like that and edited the tapes. Walter Mack now might not speak to me because he's furious. Anyway, enough about that annoying bitch. Let's begin.